The art of discomfort. So, pretty much anything that we do that's easy is a way of avoiding discomfort or avoiding some kind of emotion. Most of what people prey on in order to take our money from us is some way of making it easier for us to avoid discomfort or a particular emotion. Let's look at social media. It allows us to avoid being bored or to avoid feeling whatever feelings we feel when we're just sitting there doing nothing. Or maybe there's a difficult interaction or something awkward around us or whatever, and we disappear into our virtual lives. So this is us avoiding discomfort. Drugs are the same. Caffeine. We can't tolerate a bit of tiredness. If we have a late night and we get up, we don't learn the lesson, we just take drugs to try to compensate for it. It's not that difficult to function tired, but we take drugs and make the matter worse. We teach ourselves that we can't handle a little bit of discomfort caused by our own choices. We then take the drugs or the caffeine and then it drains us even further. So we don't get a great sleep and the next day it's even worse. We take more caffeine, etc., etc. Alcohol allows us to avoid being uncomfortable, to avoid being in situations that are uncomfortable. By taking alcohol, we're telling ourselves that we do not want to feel discomfort, that we simply want to be fearlessness. We never learn to handle ourselves in discomfort. We never learn that we're actually better off not having these poisons and we're actually able to handle ourselves better whilst not taking these poisons in these uncomfortable situations. There's nothing better than a clear mind and a healthy body to handle discomfort. If we think of fast food, it's a similar situation where the second we are hungry, we eat. There's no delay. There is some incredible benefits in delaying food, delaying eating, being hungry for a while. But these days we don't have to. We avoid the discomfort of being a little bit hungry. The other one is streaming services and TV and movies and TV series and things like that. It destroys our ability to be creative. Creativity comes from, in a way, boredom, in a way, being understimulated so your mind can start to wonder and think. Look at kids, for an example, the way they play outside, create these elaborate stories. We stop doing that because we rely on outside sources. They teach us that we can't be bored, that we cannot bear the thought of having nothing to do. But if we were to do nothing, then our mind starts to create. It starts to develop. It starts to want to build. And then we can build things that serve us positively in the outside world. We can become a seller rather than a buyer. It's the same with porn. It allows us to avoid having to interact with the opposite sex, which is a very serious issue. So all these things are teaching ourselves lessons about ourselves. They're teaching us that we can't handle our emotions. We're unable to sit with discomfort for any long period of time. But the key to success is sitting with discomfort as much as you can. The more discomfort you can sit with, essentially the more success that is built. There is no other way. The more you outsource your discomfort to these various things, the more you pay money to these services and companies that simply are feeding in to this issue that humans have where we obsessively try to avoid ourselves. They make money of creating mentally unwell people. The best way out of this is to just sit with discomfort. Find the most difficult thing to do and do it. Maybe it's just sitting there meditating. Maybe it's trying to create something rather than distracting yourself. Choose creation and practice and mastery over entertainment. Don't allow something to entertain you. Instead, entertain yourself by creating something. Rather than read a novel or watch a TV series, write one. Rather than go shopping online, create an online store. Rather than take drugs and alcohol, go and face your fears. Rather than flick through social media, instead create something that gives value to others rather than taking that value for yourself. We need to sit with discomfort in order to become successful people. The more discomfort we can handle, the more successful we become. Thanks, guys.